a pleasure for me to be here with you, sharing a little bit of what I have gone through and what I have learned, and hopefully this will help you more with your current classes, right? Well, we're teachers, we're all teachers, right? So as teachers, we never have everything in life, unfortunately. And not talking only about money, but also talking about tools, about resources, right? We always face new updates. We always face new tools, new resources, new applications, new apps, new software, and of course, new challenges. So in order for us teachers to be better or at least updated, well, that's what we have to do. Update every time and update as much as possible. So this workshop, or what I'm going to show you today, is a selection, right, of the zillions of apps that there are on internet, online, that we can find online, right? Plus, the very good thing about being a teacher is that you can customize and you can use what it is actually useful for you, and you can kick out whatever it is not useful for you. So I need you to be very open, right, to what I'm going to show you. And I know, right, that in these are challenging times, and sometimes we don't have the resources at home, in this case, or in our schools, as we would like to have, because we might have a reliable internet connection at home, but we may not have it at school. Okay, so use whatever you can use from here, and if you cannot use it, well, you will learn how to use it for any time you can use it, okay? So I want to hear very quickly from you guys. Just say it, just unmute and just tell me, where do you teach? Elementary, kindergarten, high school, higher education, university, whatever. Come on, or in a specific language center. Come on, tell me, unmute and tell me, where do you teach?
Do we raise our hands or we just speak?
Yeah, just speak, whatever, yeah.
Okay. My name is Josue. I work in elementary school. I teach 5th and 6th grade. And in the afternoons, I work Tecnológico de México.
Cool. Thank you, Josue.
Hi, my name is Gretel. I teach in Ensenada, Baja California. I teach at 4th, 5th, and 6th grade in elementary school and 1st to 6th level in Instituto Tecnológico de Ensenada.
Nice, thank you. Two more, come on. Just to get an idea of who I am talking to. Unmute, guys. Come on, teachers. Be the students that you wish to have.
Hello, my name is Magda Polanco, and I teach in Lázaro Cárdenas, Michoacán, in Tecnológico. And I'm going to start this Monday. I'm going to start in a private school, in high school, and middle school.
Wow, great. Challenging, by the way. Okay, that's good enough. Thank you so much for your input and for your participation. And I hope that you participate with the activities that we're going to have today. So let's begin. Thank you, Mariano, for introducing me. This is me, Jorge Javier Berecochea Núñez. And let's begin with this. First of all, what is a digital tool? So for that, I'm going to ask you guys to either open another window on your computer, or use your smartphone, your tablet, any other device that you have with you, so you can participate in this kind of interactive short quiz, or it's going to be just 5 questions. So I want you to go very quickly to this website that I'm going to show you right now. Here you go. Okay, you're going to go to this website. Okay, you can, again, I would recommend to use a device, yes, a smartphone or a tablet, or use your computer, whatever you want. So to play this game, you have to go to joinmyquiz.com. and you have to enter this code. It's very similar to Kahoot. Maybe you're familiar with it, but it's a different app. This is called Quizzes, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. But first, I want you to go online here, go joinmyquiz.com and enter the game code 585510. Okay, I'm going to give you some seconds, and I'm going to start seeing the people here. There you go. So we have Gretel. You have a special prize today for being #1 in signing up, Gretel. Very good. Raúl, there's Raúl. Very good. Mariano, excellent. Great. That's Laura Perez. Darren. Good. Josue. How many students are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 times 4, 16. Okay. But not me. 16, 15. Good. So who else coming? So this is a tool. This is a very interactive tool. I don't know if you've used Kahoot before, and it works very similar to Kahoot. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about the differences between Kahoot and this app. Just very quickly, raise your hand or open your mic and tell me I have. Who has used Kahoot before?
Me.
Okay, good. So you know what I'm talking about, Sophia. Thank you.
Yes.
Cool.
I've used it as well.
Great, Darren. Thank you. Is it Darren or Darren? How should I say that?
It's Darren. It's
Darren. Thank you, Darren. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Kahoot is very popular, and it's very challenging. I like Kahoot more for to use it in the classroom, and I like quizzes when you assign activities to your students, and also in the classroom, and you will see why. Okay, so we have 7 so far. The rest of you can keep adding. Sophie, okay, who else is coming? Good. 9, 10. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. 11. 2 more. Okay. All right, good. All right, I'm going to start the game. You can still join. It's just 5 questions. It's going to be very quickly. And so it's just to get some information from you and for you to see this quiz that I'm going to present. And so also, sometimes we need to experience what our students will experience in our classes, right? So with this activity, we are going to experience what our students experience for the first time when we give them an app, right? Like what's this? What, where, how, what should I do, right? So that's useful too. Okay, so let's begin with this. On your screen, you will see some questions, right? And you won't see them here on the computer. Let me mute this. Yeah, okay. So you will see some questions. So go through the questions. There's time to answer the questions. And the only thing that you will see on my screen, which would be in this case, the projector, if you have one in your school, is the results of the students, okay? So go ahead, answer the questions. They are very easy and funny, hopefully. And here you see only the leaderboard. Wow, we have 100% of accuracy. That's great. So you can use this app also in your classroom, or you can use it like we are doing it right now. If you're starting and if you're going to have the opportunity to have video conference for teaching, and this might be very useful. It has a very nice layout. The game has a very nice layout, I would say. And it has some things that Kahoot doesn't have. For instance, the add ups or the means between question and question. It has an additional thing also that you can add some music, a very short MP3 song or audio in this case. Good. So Darren has finished, number 1. Josue has finished 2, very good. And most of you are close to finishing. Good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you over here the other screen, which is that you can also see the questions, how the students have answered, or in this case, well, the entire question, and how many, the average time taken, how many have answered that question, etc. So something very cool about this app is that you can customize if you want the questions to appear or to be shown in different order. So it's useful for a test also. And for example, you can have, in this case for me, number 5, you might have had it at the beginning in number 1, and so on, right? So you can play with that in the classroom, in the actual classroom, or with the quizzes, right? So that is to avoid that your students, if there are 2 students doing it like together, they won't see the same activities at the same question at the same time. So this is how you can see the question. It gives you a very detailed report, right? I'm going to go back to the leaderboard for now. It gives you some points as well. It tells you the results of the students, yes. And if you go through the question, you can also, this option to sort by accuracy, so that you can see how many students answered correctly to each of the questions. Now, the problem or drawback, I wouldn't say a problem, the drawback with this app is that open-ended questions are not checked, right? So they are going to be always correct. That's the drawback about this. So you may want to go ahead and use only check boxes or fill in the blank, etc., right? So did everybody answer correctly the song, the name of the song? No, somebody, well, come on. It's a very popular song, guys. So 95% of accuracy here for you guys, and you can end the game anytime, right? So as you see, it is self-paced. You give a specific time for each question, or for each for each question, and then if students finish first, the game is going to end automatically. So in this case, not everybody have finished. That's why it hasn't ended yet. So just because of the time, I'm going to end it, and I'm going to show you what happens next, right? So yes, I'm going to end it right now. It tells you if you want to end it, so you don't end it by mistake. And then it's going to end the game, right? There you go. So the next screen that we have is this, right? The leaderboard, the who won, etc. So first place was Darren, second place Josue, and third place Christina. Excellent, very good students. And then it has this this funny thing in which all the others appear, right? So this is similar to Kahoot for those who have used Kahoot. You can decide to either play again or just go ahead through this very nice and neat looking report, right? You can actually download the results just like in Kahoot. You can also download the results, but here it gives you like these badges or whatever. It tells you the class accuracy, sorry, the toughest question, the longest question, and interesting facts. The average time taken per question was 79 seconds. So it gives you some more detailed information. So here's the overview. With these quizzes, if you are working with students from elementary school, like some of you do, you can have, or you can have your students add to this platform, to this tool, and you can create classrooms in this platform specifically to assign quizzes. You can link this one with Google Classroom also. And if you decide to make a quiz here, you can assign it to Google Classroom. And the grade or the result of the students here is going to be copied directly to the grade in Google Classroom. So it's like completely integrated, which is really good for those who use or who have been using Google Classroom. So it's a really nice tool. That's something that we don't get with Kahoot. That's another thing that I like about this app, and the perfect integration that it has with Google Classroom. So you can create, again, your class here. I'm going to show you how, and this is what you will see at the end of each of the quizzes. Okay, so again, what I was telling you is that you can email the parents if when the students log in. Sometimes, you know, they are minors and they use the email of the parents, so you can just email the parents the results. But you have to go through a process of registration. It's free. You don't have to pay for anything. It's so far everything that I have used with this app is free, different from Kahoot, in which there's a premium version that you have to pay. But luckily for us teachers right now, the premium version is free if you say that you use it for a school. Tip if you didn't know that. So we have all the results here and the answers for question 1, 2, 3, 4, whichever other questions that you have. So far, I haven't seen a limit of questions. I've made some tests or some quizzes of 50 questions and no problem. I haven't gone farther, but so far that's good. So once you get this report, you can go through the questions and you can either play again or review questions also. And here it's like it works like flashcards, right? So here you can see what is a digital tool. And now I'm going to go check what your answers were. So it says it's a tool related to technology, which can be used for any activity. It can computer. I think you wanted to say it can be used in a computer or smartphones. Good. Or it can be a computer or smartphone. So a tool used over a device like a computer or tablet, a source that we can use with students to work in distance, an online resource, a tool you can use with in the web to teach a more interactive way. It's an app, a web page, or technological resources that you can use to help you with tasks. It's a software that can be used to teach. Did you Google this? An electronic media which helps to communicate. Good. Laptops, an app, a tool that we use with technology. It's a tool that facilitates learning, communication through a digital platform, a tool that is virtually available through technology. Very good. Great answers. Thank you. So you can see it as flashcards. Yep. What do you think about digital tools? I think they're very useful. 12 players selected that. I prefer old school, one player. I find them very difficult to use, one player. Okay, good. Now the next one, it says, which of the following digital tools are for video conferencing? Kahoot, definitely not. Socrative, absolutely not. Google Forms, it's not. Zoom, very good. And Google Meet. Wow, guys, you're very familiar with digital tools. That's great. Next one, it says, what is the title of this song? And what was the song? Oh, I'm sorry for this answer. Okay, yeah, so I don't know. Baby Shark, absolutely. Baby Shark, do, 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 do. Excellent. So many people have probably played with this song at school in their classrooms or have little children maybe, right? And that was a very famous song all over the world. Okay, so TESOL stands for, good. Teaching English to speakers of other languages. That's great. It's not training every student of life. Hopefully that would be great, but no. Great. So that's question number 5. And as you can see, you can go through the questions in your classroom with your students. You can also play hiding the answers, and then you can have the chance to check the answers with your students. And at the end, well, you show the answer, right? And this is a correct answer. Very good. You can hacer la de emoción with your students before giving them the correct answer. If we're talking about exercises, vocabulary, grammar, etc. Right? So there we go. Now, you can close that, and this is what quizzes is useful for. Again, it's similar to Kahoot, but I find different uses for each of the activities. So if you want to have all the students together playing and challenging at the same time, you can use Kahoot. If you want to have each student work at their own pace, you can have quizzes. I have asked my students, which one do you prefer, Kahoot or quizzes? Some of them say, I like quizzes better than Kahoot because I don't feel pressured. I don't feel pressure because of the time, right? And with Kahoot, they have to be like, oh my God. Yeah. Another thing is that when you play live, like we did right now, you see every question on your phone. Kahoot only shows you the options, right? So that's another thing that students, it's visually more, I mean, easier to use for some students doing it through quizzes. So again, both are very good tools for quizzes, for formative assessment, I would say, but each one has like, okay, I want to do this. I think I can use, or quizzes would work better for me. Or if I want all my students to make a big mess in the classroom and to go joyful and to go crazy, I would use Kahoot. If I were in the classroom, if I were here, like online teaching, well, I think I would use quizzes more than Kahoot. Yeah, also because sometimes internet doesn't work very well for all the students, and like they have to pay attention to the screen and to the other screen. So Kahoot would be a little bit more complicated in that case than quizzes for those options. Okay, so those are, again, my points of view, the way I have used it, and along, I mean, as you use them, you will feel comfortable with that. So this is the what, and now we are going to see the how. Okay, in a minute we will see the how. So yes, teacher, I like quizzes. How do I do it? So we'll see that in a minute. Okay, so let me just go back. This was just introduction. Oh, so let me just go back to the presentation, and I forgot to share computer sound. Anyway, so yeah, what is a digital tool? I got your answers, very accurate. And oops. So this is sort of what you said also. It's any tool that can be used to generate, transfer, manage, process, and keep information through an electronic device. So I think all of you had accurate answers. A smartphone is a digital tool. I mean, a calculator is a digital tool, right? So anything, mostly anything, if it has a software, if it is an electronic device, it's definitely a digital tool. Now, we have different types of digital tools. In this case, we're going to focus in software, and more specifically, we're going to focus in software that we can use in our teaching classes. Okay, so for English, press pound. That's next part. What is this? So as I was telling you, this is like an overview of digital tools. First of all, learning management systems. That is a digital tool. That is basically your classroom, how you can manage it, right? A learning management system. Very quickly, I want you to tell me, or raise your hand or unmute and say, I do. Who uses Classroom?
I do. I'm sorry.
Good.
I do.
Great.
I do.
Great. Yes. I should have asked, will you marry me? So I get a lot of I do's. But very good. So we have Classroom that's like the one provided by SEP, by our Secretaría de Educación Publica, for free for everyone, right? Like, I think right now there is no teacher in the entire country who doesn't have access to Classroom for education, right? With the unlimited tools, right? If it's not through SEP, it is through our schools, because we have, we have access to Classroom through a Gmail account, right? But if we want something better, well, there's Google Education, right? G Suite for Education, and we can get G Suite for Education through our Nueva Escuela Mexicana email, I think, or something like that, or through our school's email, school's domain. So it's easy, well, kind of easy, that if your school has a domain, www.myschool.edu, right? They can sign up for free to get full and unlimited G Suite for education, and you can give away, or they can give away, I think it's up to 10,000 accounts, Google accounts, unlimited storage, unlimited for everything, Google accounts, and that helps with classroom. And you know, we have to open sometimes, we teachers more, we have to open sometimes 2, 3 Gmail free accounts to have enough storage, right? Because we only get 10 gigabytes. So we top up one Gmail account, and then we open another one, and so on. So we won't have that problem with our unlimited accounts. And I would suggest that you talk to your schools so they can give you that free Google Suite unlimited account. So that's one of the LMS Classroom. You're familiar with that. There's Canvas too, that I have been exploring a little bit, and it's really useful. It's really nice. It's very customizable. It's very easy to integrate, what I was telling you with quizzes, to integrate with quizzes and many other resources, softwares, apps, etc. There's Schoology, another of my favorite apps for learning management system, and I use this one a lot. This is actually the one that I use the most, even more than Google Classroom. It's more customizable. I'm not gonna go through it a lot, but just a quick just a quick information about it. Schoology is really good. The other one, this is more for teaching administration or teacher administration. You can plan or even create digital plans on your computers and upload them to chalk.com. It also has the option to register all your students. Unfortunately, you have to do it manually. You can register all your students, and you can have your attendance taken with your smartphone. So you just go to the class and you start fulanito, sultanito, perenganito, etc. And you just click on to take attendance in your smartphone, and then you get reports. It's really good. If you have the time, go through it. I won't, because it would take a whole entire class or 2 hours to explain chalk. But also Schoology, also Canvas. I'm giving you ideas on this. We're gonna focus on other things for now. Okay, so there you go. And well, this is another example of an LMS, which is Cambridge LMS. There are many LMSs, but the point is that learning management systems are also digital tools, right? So definitely, according to the definition that we have of digital tools, and whenever we can use something to teach, whenever we can use something digital to teach, it's going to become a digital tool. How many of us have used TikTok to teach? Raise your hand right now. Who has used TikTok to teach? Absolutely, right? And lucky us, there are many teachers who are TikTokers, and found it very useful to share TikToks with my students, in which there are some native speaking teachers explaining different pronunciations of one word, another word, etc. So that becomes very useful, because students are all the time on TikTok, and then I ask them to at least mimic or redo that TikTok that talks about the difference between ship and cheap, and I mean things like that, right? So they just redo it, and it helps their pronunciation. That's really good. So of course, Facebook is another. We have made Facebook Facebook groups another LMS, another learning management system, and it's been really useful. Now, so everything, all this can also be digital tools, right? So, but more specifically for English, and here you have to take note, because we're not going through all of them. We're just going to see some of them, right? So for video, number one, we have Zoom, the one that we are using, and I'm going to give you a very good tip. for Zoom in a minute, okay? So Zoom is for video conferencing. It's a digital tool that we can use in class. Play, pause it. We won't discuss this one right now, but I would suggest that you discover play, pause it a little bit. The next one, Flipgrid. If we have enough time, we will go through Flipgrid today. And it's a really cool app. I don't know if you have seen it or if you have used it. It's for videos. I mean, you can record some videos, reply with videos. It's a grid. And you can just reply and post videos, and you can create classrooms also. So this one, I mean, classes, and it's a very useful and nice app. But it requires, of course, better software or a better smartphone so you can use it in a better way. Edpuzzle, it also works with videos, and I would suggest that you also discover this one a little bit. It's a little complicated to use at the beginning. It doesn't have much activities, but it's very customizable. That's the good thing. So this one, I'm going to explain what this is. I don't know if you have seen this, the color vowel chart for pronunciation. It's another digital tool. And this one, specifically this one, you can make it analog, not to mention, if you don't have a computer in your class, if you don't have internet in your class, you can even make it like drawings or on the floor, and very, I mean, play a lot with it. We will see this one because it's digital, but it's also not digital, and I'm going to show you how to use it. So lyrics training, that's another one that you can use for listening. We will go through this one too. And Kahoot, well, you already know Kahoot. Quizzes, the one that we already practice a little bit right now, and we will see how to use it. And EducaPlay, that's another one. We won't see it this time. And of course, the Cambridge and many other apps that you can use for grammar, vocabulary, etc. Okay, so once we have mentioned this, let's move on to the very first one. So the first one that we are going to see, I'm going to give you a tip for Zoom. Again, I need you to unmute and tell me, or raise your hand, or whatever you want, react, who has used or who uses on a daily basis Zoom for your classes. Mariano does.
I do.
I do.
Okay, good.
I do.
I do.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so it's many. Now, who has used breakout rooms in Zoom?
I have.
You have. Okay, Darren, you know how to use this thing. So that's cool. Breakout rooms. What is breakout rooms? As its name says, you have the main conference, like what we are holding right now. And for instance, if I want Laura, Maria, Magda, and David, Josue, and Lorena to make a team, Priscilla, Alcadia, Huerta, Sofia, Darren, another team, and the rest of you, another team, that's what breakout rooms works for. So you can break the room, break this main room, and create small rooms for your students to discuss a topic, to get together to talk about something, and then you can go back to the main session. You can give some time, etc. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it. First of all, well, you have to sign up and download Zoom, like you already have it. Sorry, the second or next, oops, before this, you have to configure breakout rooms. So if you have never done this, you have to actually go to Zoom. I'm going to show you very quickly where to go. So I'm not sharing my screen. So here we go. Zoom here. Share. Okay, so you go to your Zoom, and oh, I put it in Spanish because I was teaching this in Spanish the other day. So you log in, obviously, to your account. Whoops. I thought I was logged in. no, it's at this one. Okay, so you log into the general configurations. Yes, it should be in English, but sorry about it. So there is an option right here in configuración. Well, there are a lot of features that you can work with right here. You can activate the sala de espera. That is when participants join a meeting, place them in a waiting room, and require the host to admit them individually. What's this for? If you want your students to be online, I mean, to get to your classroom, even before you get to the classroom, the students can actually log into the classroom, but they will be waiting. I mean, it won't be, la reunión no ha empezado. It would be, you are in the waiting room, right? So it's a little bit more kind, if you want to call it somehow. Yes. There are many things that you can use here, right? So the point here is that you have to activate the option of breakout rooms. Yeah, it's in English, and it gives me some problems a little bit to remember where it is, if it is in English, if it is in Spanish. Yeah, so you can do it very easily. Just look for whoops, yeah, breakout rooms. Okay, so you go to the option of breakout room, and you have to activate it first. Okay, so if you don't activate it, you will never see that option on your screen. So you have to activate it first. Yes, and then once you activate it, like here, you can go to whoops, I'm having problems here a little bit, sorry. Okay, so once you activate it, you can go back to your, did you see my screen? Yes, you did, right? Did you see when I went through the configuration of activating breakout rooms?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
thank you. I wasn't sure if I was sharing the right screen. So now, once you do that, what happens? You will see at the bottom or at the tab of right next to the screen sharing, I mean, right there, you can see the option for breakout rooms. So I'm going to show you how I do this. And this is very useful for speaking activities, right? Because you can tell your students, okay, we're going to work with speaking, and I need you two guys to get together and practice this conversation, etc. Right? So when they go to the breakout rooms, the students can actually share their own screens. You can, as you see here in the computer, you can assign the participants. This one is one of my classes. You can assign the participants into different rooms. You can decide how many rooms you want to create, 5, 6, 7, whichever. You can move the students manually, or you can have Zoom, you know, randomly put the students wherever wherever they go. So before they put the students, they show you how the rooms are going to be. So if you don't want this guy to be with this guy because they're just going to make a mess, you can change them before adding them to the group. So you can also have or tell Zoom to close the breakout rooms automatically after so many minutes, and they will have a notification saying your room will be closed in so many seconds. Okay, so you configure all that, and that's how you can. I mean, if you don't activate in the website as I showed you to do it, you will never see this. So you have to go first through breakout rooms, and then you will have the option in Zoom for the breakout rooms. Okay, so once you decide on how your students are going to be separate, then you automatically assign all the students to their breakout rooms. Then Zoom does its stuff and starts spreading everybody in the rooms, and you can join to each of the rooms. Good thing is that you won't hear all of them at the same time, so it won't be a problem for your ears. And you can join each of the rooms. You can go through all the rooms and go back through the rooms, move through the rooms however you want. So that works because you can work specifically with a group of students, like in the classroom, like in a real classroom, right? So you go with the table and, a ver, ¿cómo les va aquí? ¿Qué están haciendo? Vamos a checar. Yeah, you go with them and you work with them, and then you move to another one and so on, right? So this is what you will see, how you will be moving through the breakout rooms. And then you see all the students in that room, you work with them. You can even share your screen. You can have another person share their own screen and so on, right? So that's how you move through the breakout rooms. And at the end, well, you tell Zoom, Zoom will tell you time's up. You want to keep the breakout rooms open, or you want to close them. So if you decide to close them, well, everybody's going to see that message. The room's going to be closed in 10 seconds and go back, everyone, right? So we cannot do this in a workshop because I would have to take you all everywhere, right? So I think it was better to show you this, so you know how to create that activity. And Darren, I think you said you have used this feature in Zoom. What do you think about it? Let me hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful for speaking activities because it gives students the opportunity to practice the principles that we're teaching, or that I'm teaching. And it allows more students to speak, because in one big group, not everybody can speak at the same time. So it's really useful for
That's
for
right. Absolutely. Thank you for your input. And yeah, I mean, we have struggled a lot with speaking because we don't have enough time for speaking with our students. And just as Aaron says, I mean, if you focus with one in the main session, it's going to happen what it happened right now. Only Darren spoke, right? And what about the rest? So breakout rooms is a great opportunity to have all your students practice between them, and you can just go monitor each of them, right? Unfortunately, the free version of Zoom only gives us 40 minutes, so there's not much that you can do with this, but you can use the same link. Okay, guys, Zoom is gonna kick us out, reconnect, and we will keep working. That's what we can do. So we can use breakout rooms, or we can wait for the breakout rooms option with Google Meet, which is hopefully coming soon, right? And I think it would work the same, but I still prefer Zoom to Google Meet for presentations. I mean, for online classes and for video conferencing. Anyway, so that's how breakout rooms work. I hope that's how breakout rooms works, and I hope you can use it, and I hope you can see it in real life. No, so we're becoming Zoom University students, right? I made this T-shirt for Zoom, and it says "Pants not required." I do have pants today, but you know, pants are not required for for online teaching, right? So let's keep with the next one. So far, any questions, any situation that you want to know about Zoom? Is it, so far is it good, or how are we doing? Are we okay? Yes? If nobody unmutes, then I think I can continue.
That's right.
Okay, good. Thank you. So the next tool that I'm going to show you is the color vowel chart, right? And this one, well, you know, pronunciation is one of the things that we struggle the most with our students, right? Why? Because in Spanish, we only have 5 vowel sounds. Only 5 vowel sounds, and mostly every consonant sounds the same, except for letter Z. No, not Z, C. That sometimes it's k and sometimes it's s, right? So, but we have very little variations in pronunciation. But in English, well, every vowel can sound different, and there are more or less 15 vowel sounds, and that for a native Spanish-speaking person is hard to understand. No? Like, why? La A siempre es A, la E siempre es E. Yes, but not in English, my friend. So there is this tool. It's a digital tool because it has a website in which you can, it's a very simple tool. It's a website in which you can actually see and listen to the suggested pronunciation. So the website is that one that I'm showing you right there, and the website looks like this. So this is the website. It's American English. Yeah, I'm focusing American English right now. And this is the color vowel chart if you teach American English, right? So let me show you this and the way it works. So it's divided into 15 squares or figures, and each of them has a color and the name of the color, green. This one is silver, gray, red, black, purple, etc. And according to the pronunciation of the vowels. So tell me if you can listen to this.
E, green tea.
Yeah, okay. So this is why I say it's a digital tool, right? Because it's online and you can
green tea.
actually play it, right? So there's all the pronunciations and you can work this out. It's very useful for us who are not native speakers as well, because we can go through the pronunciation. You know, sometimes we don't, when we are starting to speak the language, we don't find a very good difference between E and E, right? So this one would be green.
E, green tea.
And this one doesn't sound like silver pin, right?
Silver pin.
So it's a little bit different. So we can use this tool a lot with our students to have them identify the different vowel sounds, okay? And we can play a lot with this. This one or this color vowel chart, I learned about it because I didn't discover it. I learned about it in one of the courses last year at the University of South Carolina. I was there, and let me show off. I was in South Carolina, of course, and I was there, and there was a very, very good teacher of English pronunciation, and this woman, this teacher, she showed us this color vowel chart. And the moment I saw it, I said, this is going to be great and very useful for my students. So the way we practiced the pronunciation was with movements, right? You know, there are many students that are kinesthetic. Yep. So the way I use it, and it's been very useful because students also, you can use it also as a pausa activa in your classes. It's that you help your students. First, you go through all the vowel sounds, but you move your hands to show your students how they should move or use their mouth, or how they have to move their mouth. For example, for green, you exaggerate it a little bit, of course, but what happens when we do the green? You kind of smile, right? Green, E. So with your hands, you teach them, okay, open your hands, so you open your mouth. You have to match your movements with your mouth. So you go like E, and you make repetitions. I do 3 times each isolated sound, and then the word. Yep. E, 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 green tea. And you do that with your students. Everybody have to be standing up, and they keep practicing, right? E, 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 green tea. And then for the next vowel, well, I play the vowel.
Silver pin.
And then I tell them that their mouth has to go like a little bit more relaxed. So it's not like E anymore. It's like silver pen. So your mouth goes more relaxed, and instead of opening your hands, you just close it a little bit. E, E, and then you move from one sound to another, and students start to get familiarized with it, right? So the next one would be gray, which is like a E, and then you go to E, right? E, gray day. And so you go along with all this, right? And again, this would take us more than 2 hours, I think, to go through all the vowels and to give you ideas to practice with this. But again, we are teachers. We have a lot of imagination. I'll tell you what we have available, and then imagination is the limit. You can do whatever. For instance, what I use this one for is it's a daily activity for our pausa activa with my students, or to, you know, at the beginning of the class, because they have to move. So they stand up and they start moving. So after 3 classes, boring classes with the other teachers, and then the English teacher comes to the classroom, I know it has happened to you. They go like, yes, it's time for play. It's time to learn, to really learn. Hopefully, right? Anyways, so you can use this one at the beginning of the classes with some movement, and students will feel comfortable with that, and they will start getting more familiarized with them. I've made some anonymous feedback from my students about the use of this activity, and they like it a lot, because they say, actually, what I just told you, it's because after 3 hours of being seated, talking with teachers and with other classes, you make us stand up, move, and that helps us activate our senses, our brains, our etc. And we are more open to start learning. So I don't have it with me right now, but that's what somebody wrote in an anonymous feedback that I asked them about this. So it's a very useful tool. It's a digital tool. Another thing, another idea that I can give you is I made this one. I painted it on the you know, on the soccer court, not the soccer court, on one of the areas over there in my school. So I take all my students outside, I say a word, and they have to stand up on the correct color depending on the pronunciation. So of course, for example, I say, I don't know, wood, the word wood. So they go and they have to stand up in the pronunciation.
Wooden hook.
Wooden hook, right? So it's like a twister. You remember the game Twister? Yep, but with the color vowel chart. So students like to play that one a lot too. So you can use this one right now in classes, in virtual classes, and you can also use it hopefully when we go back next year to our classrooms, right? So this is another tool that you can use. I don't know, I should not stay more in this one because we still have some others to see, but you already have the idea, and it tells you exactly how to use it. It tells you how the mouth should move if you download this texts, these PDFs. And it, I mean, it's again, it would take us about 2 hours to go through all of it. So we're not going to do that now because we're going to focus on something else. So, oops, I closed it. Sorry. I'm going to share my screen again. And it's over here. There you go. So that is the color vowel chart. You can scan this code and it will take you to this website, or I will have this presentation available for you when we are done. So the next one, before going to lyrics training, I want to go to, sorry, not this one. Whoops. Come on. Okay, this one. Quizzes. So we already saw how, what Quizzes is. It's an app that we can use to create formative assessments. It's used for gamification. You can present live or assign homework. So you can provide feedback through flashcards, as you said. And as I told you, it has full integration with Google Classroom. So again, I'm going to show you, I'm going to share the screen of Quizzes. So I tell you exactly how it works, okay? For Quizzes, you have to, okay, you see it now, right? You see the Quizzes app, yes? Yeah, good. So you go to quizzes.com, not join my quiz anymore. You go to quizzes.com. I have full screen here. There you go, quizzes.com. You have to create your account as a teacher, create your account as a teacher, and it will take you to this administration dashboard, right? And you have on the left, you have all these options. You can search quizzes that are already there. Search quizzes that already exist. You can search quizzes on any topic. So there's a lot for English. There's a lot for specific topics, vocabulary on I don't know, transportation, food, etc. Grammar with present simple, present perfect. I mean, whatever you're looking for. Just like with Kahoot. Of course, we as teachers can copy we can copy the activities that are already there, or we can create new activities. If you copy the activities, I suggest that you check it, okay? That you make sure that the answers are correct, because sometimes they have also some questions that says, translate this into English. And it's of another language like German or Chinese and come on, I mean, you cannot show that to your students, right? So make always sure that you use or that you check the activity before playing with it, right? So here is the one that I was telling you, classes, that you can create classes, okay? If you create here classes, you can connect it to Google Classroom. So when you sign up, I would strongly suggest that you sign up using your Google account, the one that you have with Google Classroom, okay? Because that will give you the chance to copy or drag your students on Google Classroom to quizzes. So if you do that, you will have all your students, I mean, your classes will be on Google Classroom, right? So right now I'm not using the account that I use with Google Classroom because I created another account to show you like clear what it looks like. And once you connect it to Google Classroom, you can drag all your classes, or you can create a class. If you create a class, you can name the name, you can write the name of the class. For now, I'm going to write ESL, just like, for example, right? You can give it put a color here. If you have minor students, and if you want to, you can have your students write their guardians or their parents' email, so you can use that option that at the beginning we saw, in which it was email parents. Yes, like, pórtense bien, contesten bien, porque les voy a mandar los resultados a sus papás en este ratito, right? So you can do that too. So, or if you don't want to do that, well, you just, if you're working with adults or young adults, you can just unclick or uncheck this option, and you can start creating the class. So for your class, you can share this link, and the students will oops, it disappeared. But anyways, you can always, oops, this one. You can edit the class, change the name of the class, etc. And it gives you a link that you can share with your students, and the students will connect directly. You can share that link through Facebook, through WhatsApp, through any other I mean, email, whatever you want, right? So once you have the class, your students will be added here. Yes, here's, you add students, and you can see always the link again. Oh my God. Add students, you can copy the link, generate a new link or whatever you want, so you can share it with your students. And once you have your students, you can always refresh the list, and your students will be added here, and your students will appear here. And then you can go to my library on this side, and you can go through this is the activity that I made with you guys, and you can create new assignments, etc. So I'm gonna direct you on how to create new assignments. I don't know if you want to, I mean, this is where the workshop part would start, right? So I don't know if, Mariano, you tell me also if you want us to go through creating the account, or if I should explain how to create the account, and then on your own, at your own pace, you create it. What do you think, guys? How do you feel more comfortable with? Mariano, what do you think?
Yeah, well, it's 12 o'clock. I don't know how long it's going to take that. I mean, supposedly the workshop was for an hour and 30 minutes, but if it's okay with the audience, there's no problem with me.
Yeah, it would take I think about 30 minutes to for everybody, and so all of us can go at our own pace. But if I tell you, if we go through the how to do it, I think it would be better so we can see another app, and the overview maybe, no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, good. So once you have your account, you can start creating questions. You can always add or edit the ones that you already have. You can copy one from the ones that already exist, or you can change them, edit them, etc. Right? So this is when you already have a quiz like the one I have. This is what it's going to look like. So So if you want to create a new quiz, well, you just have to tap or click on create. And there's also a mobile version, a mobile app for quizzes. And you can create quizzes on your smartphone as well. So here in create a quiz, you just name the quiz 1 or English 1 or whatever you want to call it. You can choose subjects, or you can just leave it. Oh no, you have to select one, English. And then you can go, you click next in creating a quiz. Again, my computer is a little bit slow because I have many windows open. And it has, you're going to be moved to this quiz editor, right? Which is, it gives you a few options for answers, right? Multiple choice, checkbox, fill in the blank, a poll, and an open-ended. So I used all of these ones on the quiz that you made at the beginning, so you could see what they looked like, right? And you can add images. I'm going to go with multiple choice. It shows you the way it will look. It will look in the smartphones, in the devices. You have to write a question. You can give some formatting to the question. What is the name of the teacher? One day it will start working. Yeah, there you go. What is the name of the teacher? You can underline, you can change the color, you can use italics, which is, I think, good, right? For instance, when you need the students to identify what is the function of one of the words, and then here you can say, what is the function on? Oh, another thing different from Kahoot is that here you can edit more. You can have more options to format the questions. So that's really cool. Identify the function of, for example. For instance, identify the function of of. So of is a noun. Of is a gerund. Of is what is actually of, guys? Etc. Right? So you write here all the functions or the options that you want, and then you click on the correct answer. You can click only one for this option, or if you want your students to select more than one, well, you can change the type of question, right? But in this case, it would be only one. Of course, it's not a noun. I'm just doing this. And you can add pictures, add images instead of the written option. You can add images. And once you finish this, well, you just save it. And this is the way the question would look like in the smartphone. So once you save it, it's going to go back over here, and you can create another question, and so on, right? So for the option in which I added an audio clip, you can add images or audio. Unfortunately, not video. That's the good option that Kahoot has, in which you can add the whole video from YouTube, right? So here you can add audio only, and it only allows you 10 seconds, right? And you can upload an MP3. You can always cut, you know, it's very little. Unfortunately, it's very little. Or you can also record it, right? You can create a conversation. Hello, my name is George. What is your name? And then they can just answer or something like that, right? So this is how you add audio to this, to each of the questions. And for the options, as you saw, oops, I think I clicked on cancel. Yeah, sorry. So for the options, there you go. For the options, you can add images, as you saw in the first quiz, and the sample quiz that I did for you. So how you add images to the answers? Well, there's the option here to add images, and the good thing is that you don't really have to download the images. You can just enter or paste a link to an image. So if you go to Google and you want an image to appear in your computer, well, you just have to look for the image that you want, copy the address of the image, and it's automatically going to appear in the option. Okay, I'm doing it right now. Probably you don't see it, but I'm copying the address so you can see. Let me see over here. Oops. Flip grid. Here. So I'm going to copy this address, the address of this image, and I'm going to paste it. You just right click, copy image address, and whoops. There you go. My computer is going very slow. Sorry about that. Quiz creator. There you go. So you go back to the screen, you paste it here, and it's going to automatically be shown there. You just save it, and it will appear as the image, and your students will see it the way you saw it with the Zoom, Google Forms, etc. Right? So that's how they will see it. So you just save it. I didn't write a question. Yeah, it tells you problems over here. You can change the timers. You can give them as much time as you want. I think it's up to 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's up to 15 minutes, from 5 seconds to 15 minutes for each of the answers. Then if you want all your questions to have specific time, well, you go to here, to the right, side of the site here, of this website, and then you can default time for all the questions, let's say 20 seconds for all of them, and then you can just change the ones that you want, right? So time updated for all the questions. You can add a quiz image. You can edit the name of the quiz. You can import from a spreadsheet that you had previously made, but I think it's a little bit complicated, so I prefer to do it like here, because you see the layout that the questions will have. So I think it's a little bit easier or better. And then it gives you a quality score. So the minimum quality that you should keep here would be pick a relevant quiz name. I already did. Add a quiz image, which I haven't done, but when you do, it checks it. Add grades for which grades you're going to use this. And it has some few options over here. You can, here's the quiz details, and the language, oops. And you can select the grades from kindergarten to professional development or whatever, right? Who can see this quiz, if you want public or only private, visible for you, right? Which is good, because sometimes, I don't know if you've done this, obviously with the authorization of my students, I use some of their photos, or I ask them to take photos doing something, and then I use them for the quizzes, like what are they doing? And then they're taking, they're playing the guitar, they are having breakfast, etc. So I use some of the real images when it was possible, when we were in class, and it makes it more appealing for them as well. So in that case, if you do that, you can do it private, they're just visible for you. So this is the other app that we can use. I don't know if you want to make any questions about this. Go ahead right now. Oh, wait, not yet. Sorry. So once you finish your quiz, you can share it. How do you share it? similar to what happens with Kahoot. You can, okay, I'm gonna go with the one that I already have over here. Here, you always keep the drafts, right? I mean, the app is going to keep the drafts always. So here, you can either play live, which is what we did. You can assign homework, or you can just practice it on your own to see if, or share the practice link for the students to do it. I mean, to practice it. I mean, without getting points, etc. So if you play it live, which is what we did, you will see it the way you saw it, obviously. But here you can choose three things. Either to play in teams if you're in the classroom, and there are very few students with a smartphone. You can go with the classic, each student does it, or you can do with the test, in which students will, I mean, the options that the quiz gives you, just like in Kahoot, will be different. So what happens here? If you choose the classic, the students will see it the way you saw it, and you can show attempts here. I mean, you can give them how many times can students take the quiz? Unlimited. If it is a quiz or a test that you want them to take only once, well, only once, 2 chances, 3, etc. Right? So sometimes students come up with very funny names, and if you want to avoid Susana Oria appearing on the board, well, you can always have quizzes generate names automatically, so you avoid those funny names that sometimes our students come up with. So if you want to show the answers in the game, or validate only, or if you don't want them to see the answers on the game until the end, you can do that, or not even at the end, so students can do it as a test. I used this one to make a test with my students. Actually, it was useful, and because every test was different. There were like 50 questions in the test, and each test for each student was different. So even though they were doing it at the same time, they weren't able to copy each other because all the questions were randomly assigned. If you want to show the answers in the post game, like at the end, or only the questions or nothing. Also the gameplay settings, the power-ups. You saw some of the power-ups that was like extra bonus for this, etc. Right? So you saw that, or if you don't want them, well, you can just turn it off. Timer, if you want students to have the timer, the countdown for each question, or if you want to give them like unlimited time for each of the question. If you want them to see the leaderboard at the end, like what you did. The shuffle questions, shuffle answer options, redemption questions. That means allow to students to reattempt a few incorrect questions, which I had it activated for you. And show memes. There were some memes between each of the questions, or you can turn it off. You can also select the meme set. You can also create your own meme set over here on the left side on the dashboard. You can create your own memes. Well, that's what happens when you do this. So once you select, in this case, I clicked on live. Well, it happens what you saw. But if I don't want to do it live, well, you can just, I'm gonna go back over here to my library. You can assign it as a homework. So when you assign it as a homework, again, if you have your Google Classroom linked to quizzes, when you assign the homework, it gives you the option to share directly the link to your Google Classroom. It tells you, it gives you the option to select a deadline. Yep. And also the same options over here, the timers, everything just the same way. And you can, instead of showing it here, you can just continue and assign it to your classes. Either on Google Classroom or in the class if you created a class specifically here. Okay, so here's what it will look like when you share it, and you can share a link to Google Classroom, to all the others, Canvas or Schoology, which are also the LMSs, and Remind, Twitter, Microsoft Teams, etc. Or you can just copy the link and paste it on Facebook. if you don't use a specific platform, right? So this is what we have here, or you can just tell them to go to joinmyquiz.com and enter the code, right? So once you do this, it will be sent, and when it is done, you will be able to see the reports. So in the reports, you will see the reports of all the quizzes that you have done, and you can go back to, for example, the one that it was played live. Here you can see if it was assigned, if it was played live, etc. Right? So you can always go back to the results, in this case, of the quiz that we made before. So this is so far what you can do. If you decide to use a quiz that has been created before by somebody else, you can look for the quiz that you want and wait until it appears, because my computer internet, yeah, there you go. So you can look for any quiz. Well, we have this for Enzens right here, recommended for you because I'm an English teacher. So it will also give you some suggestions on the quizzes, right? Because it detects what kind of quizzes you are using, and it gives you this. No, so you can see this. I mean, this is a quiz that somebody else created. This guy, Englabit, whatever. So you can also see the answers just to make sure that that they are correct. If you don't like one question, or if you want to delete one question, you can edit the test, or you can just assign it or play it as it is, right? If you edit the quiz, it creates a duplicate, and it takes you to the addition form, and it will be copied to your library. So you change it, you move whatever you want, you add extra questions. I mean, that's a good thing of having all this free, available, and shared exercises, activities, etc. Right? So this is what you can do with quizzes. Now, I don't know if you have any question with quizzes right now, or if you think you are ready to go ahead and explore it at your own pace and on your own. Let me know what you think about it. How do you feel with this? Is it okay? Yes? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Are we good with it? Yes? Okay, good.
That's okay.
Okay.
So in the moment that you're giving a quiz, you're able to see all the people who are joining with the code. If somebody joined and it doesn't seem like they should be there, do you have the ability as the instructor to remove those people like in that moment?
Yes, you can kick out whoever you want. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like when you were logging in, I don't know if you noticed that I placed the mouse over someone, and there was the option remove this player. I mean, you just place the thingy, the arrow on the name of the player, and it shows remove, and you just click to remove, and the student will leave. Just like in Kahoot, it happens the same too.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you.
you can remove them. Any other question regarding quizzes? Nope. Okay. With time, I think I could show you most of what I wanted to show you. There are still some other apps that are very useful, but I mean, time's up. So Mariano, I don't know if you want to go ahead and go directly to the questions, answers, doubts, comments, whatever else, whatever you think it is necessary.
Yes, we can have this activity in which if you have any questions, any doubts, any comments on today's workshop, you can either turn your microphone on, or you can write your questions on the chat section. I think, well, the tools that kindly Jorge shared with us will be very useful for our teaching context, especially this semester that most likely we will have to work online, and probably the beginning of the next semester. So can you please share your thoughts for today's workshop, either turning on your microphone or writing your comments on the chat box, please.
Yes, please. So the very last one that I would like you to check, guys, on your own, that's going to be your homework. It's Flipgrid. Take a look at it. It's really nice. It's really nice. You like it. And please let me know any questions regarding anything right now. At least turn on your mics to say nothing. What do you think? What did you think about it? Is it useful?
It's very useful. It's very interesting, but I think we need to practice, a lot of practice to do this. Mainly the old people, old teachers.
I
It's
mean,
a little complicated, but it's very interesting.
yeah, I know. Age is not, it's not a problem, believe me. I mean, it's a lot of information to go through just one application, or through one software, through one tool. And it takes time, as you say, it takes time to familiarize with it. Yeah. And it's a lot of information. I know I didn't learn this one from one day to another. It took me like, I don't know, 3 days to discover each and everything that you can do with just with quizzes, right? As well as with any other app. I mean, it takes a while to familiarize with it, and even when you familiarize with it, you screw it up sometimes. When you create quizzes, sometimes you make a mistake, and it's okay. I mean, we're humans, right? We're not machines. The machines, you tell the machine what to do, and sometimes you as human, you tell the machine to do the wrong thing. So that's always going to happen. So don't worry about it. And age is not a problem, believe me. Anything else, guys, please? Mariano, that's it, I think. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed these apps, and or that this is useful for you. I hope you can use it. And well, whatever you need, ask Mariano.
Okay, thank you very much, Jorge, for your time. I know that right nowadays, with the beginning of the new semester, we do have a lot of activities, but you took your time to be with us today and share very important information, and most important, very useful information with these tools that I'm definitely sure that more than one of us today will be using them in the near future.
My pleasure.
For the participants, I did share a link on the chat box for you to register to get your certificate of attendance. So if you haven't done it, do it right now, or otherwise, you know, I would get your information for your certificate of attendance. And like this session, this is the first of some sessions that we will have throughout the program of the professional training for English language teachers. We'll be inviting guests to share different topics. This topic with Jorge is because even though many schools and most of you or all of you work for different schools at Tecnológico Nacional de Mexico, and different schools do have online platforms, and the materials that they use do have different digital tools, but it's also important to expand our knowledge in some other options that you know, like Jorge mentioned, you know, that are free, they're available, and they can enhance our teaching and in this new la nueva normalidad, right? That is going to be you know, at least this semester, and like I said, most likely the beginning of the next semester. So once again, thank you, Jorge, very much. And please fill out the form that is on the comments, and we'll see each other soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you guys. Nice meeting you. Enjoy being a teacher.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, appreciate it.